We offer our humble salutations and prayers to the Divine Almighty, the Supreme Creator, the Omnipotent and Omnipresent. Our humble salutations and gratitude to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. So today we are on our Divine Discourse number 37, 18th of May 2020. Sharvari Nama Samvatsar, Uttarayan, Vasanta Rutu, Vaishak Mas, Krishna Paksh, Ekadasi, Induvasare, meaning Monday. So now, moving forward, we are on chapter 3, Karma Yoga. We know the questions what Arjuna asked. Tell me what is good for me and what suits me the best. Now here, if you see, in various other religions, there is one God, there is one book, and there is one path. But in Hinduism alone, there have been two paths right from the beginning. So Krishna says, I'm not telling you something new over here. I'm telling you what has been there from times immemorial. And also, here it is such that our religion is so vast and so profound and so deep that if you ask, like, how is it that only our religion has got so many texts, so many Vedas, so many Upanishads, so many authors? It's like our Gurudev used to say, who is the author of physics? If you ask such a question, then you get to understand, oh God, this is something which is been evolving from time to time, and so many scientists who have contributed for the growth of physics, developing newer and newer theories, coming up with many unfoldments so that it makes the knowledge more enriched, and also at the same time where it is made understandable. So likewise, that is the greatness of our Hinduism, basically, where we call it as a science of living. So Krishna tells, it has been there time immemorial. Now you understand. And then moving forward, in the next shloka, he talks about one cannot stay without action. If you think that, when I do a karma, then karma bounds me by pap and punya, it is better not to do action and keep away from doing action so that I don't get bound. So Sri Krishna tells Arjuna, that is not the way. Your thinking is not right. I will tell you how to do karma yoga in the spirit of dedication. I will teach you that. But let me warn you that nobody can stay, no organism, not only a human, no organism can stay without doing karma. And then he talks about in the next verse, 6th verse, he says, if somebody just gets fascinated to this orange robes and they say, I'll sit in meditation and I'll do all this meditation and dhyana, where his mind is dwelling on sensuous objects, that is also wrong. Where we spoke about those two brothers, Tavrit and Suvrit, it is where your mind is. That is more important than where your body is. And to add to this, if you have to reach, like a sannyasin who is saying that, a sannyasi who is saying, I want to go to the highest, which means you have to cross the stage of your causal body also. And in causal body, what do you have? You have the vasanas, which we call it as tendencies. So beyond that is the supreme. And below that, what you have? You have your body, mind, and intellect. And at the level of the intellect, you get desires. And at the level of the mind, those desires constantly bother you. And at the level of the body, those desires which were bothering in the mind eventually become actions. So ultimately now what? You have to become actionlessness. No action meaning how? In the karma yoga way, where it is dedicated. You have to become thoughtlessness. You have to completely make your mind sublime. And at the intellect level, you should become desirelessness. See that these desires just don't crop up at any point of time and disturb you. And at the causal body level, because all these three come under the Stula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira. I think you all were able to get this point. Body is at Stula Sharira. Mind, intellect, pranas all come under the Sukshma Sharira. And at the causal body level, these imprints of the action what one does, that gets stored in the causal body known as vasanas, tendencies, which come into the body of the next birth. So they are not going to leave you. So all these four have to be surpassed. And then one gets into self-realization. So if somebody just getting lured by an ascetic life and going and sitting there with a nice posture, that's not going to help. That's what Sri Krishna tells Arjuna over here. And then now we come to the 7th shloka. Please repeat after me. Yastvindriyani manasa niyamya rabate Arjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktah savishishyate. Now here he goes one step further and he says, in relation to the previous verse where he says there is a yogi. Okay, he might be a yogi, he might have renounced, but if his mind is constantly in the world, compared to such a person, a householder, a non-yogi, who is able to do his duties of the world with the Ishwararpana, we had discussed earlier, right? Ishwar Arpan meaning you are offering your duties at the feet of the Lord, and whatever results come, you're taking it as prasad buddhi. So whoever does with this kind of an attitude, he is much greater. Savishishyate, meaning they are superior to such kind of hypocrites. So he strongly condemns. He says, if you don't have the capacity, first know your capacity and then perform your duty in that field. Don't think that it is glamorous and at some point you feel that is good and you just leave everything and run away. So all this Swadharma and all that are addressed later. So be careful, Arjuna. So if you become a devotee, a karma yogi, with this Ishwararpana and Prasada Buddhi, you are greater than a saint. Why do you even want to look at that Sannyasa Yoga, Jnana Yoga? Why? Don't. I know your mind. You follow this. Action which is desired based makes you impure. But here, when I have taught you to do this action with Ishwararpana and Prasada Buddhi, it makes you pure. So divinize your actions. In whatever you are doing, whatever work, it may appear to be the most simplest work, but it is not as you think. When it is offered to the Lord, it becomes the greatest of the works. It could be as simple as cooking a meal at home, as simple as delivering a letter as a postman to somebody, as simple as you even bathing, dressing, eating, walking, sleeping, talking. All these are, you may feel, what are these actions? When you are breathing, think that this is the body of the Lord and I am cleaning the temple of the Lord. I am doing abhishekam. When you are dressing, look at yourself and say, this is the divine abode of the Lord and I am decorating this, alankars. You're not doing for yourself. See, when we do the Panchakosha Viveka, what are we saying? We are saying that this is not me, this is not me, this is not me, this is not me. And finally we say, that which is inside, that is the supreme truth, which is that consciousness which is looking at all these koshas which are an object, a mere object, because they are seen by the consciousness. You may ask how? Yes, have you not seen your body? Are you not seeing your body right now? So it's an object. Have you not seen changes in your body right from your childhood? Yes, you have seen. The third point, does your body have its own independent strength? No. At one point it dies. Then how is it enlivened now? It is enlivened by that supreme power which is inside and which is constantly observing these koshas. In the same way, when you are doing every act, you have to say that the Lord is inside, the supreme power is inside, because of which all this is functioning throughout and throughout. So when you're dressing, it is alankar. When you're eating, you say, I'm offering havis to the body as a yajna. Simple things, where they say you have to, normally a prayer which is said is of the highest meaning. Brahmarpanam brahma havihi, brahmagno brahmanahutam, brahmaiva tena gantavyam, brahma karma samadhina. When you're walking, say that this is the abode of Lord. The whole planet is the abode of Lord. As you take a parikrama in the temple, you say, I'm taking a parikrama here, I'm taking a pradakshina here. When you're sleeping, you're flat onto the bed. So say that I'm doing a dandavat pranam. So likewise, you have to divinize. Arjuna, at any point, don't think that this is inferior and this is superior. You are doing the best. But what you have to bear in mind is that it has to have that devotion. Once in Kashi Vishwanath temple, long ago, about 200, 250 years ago, early morning, the puja preparations are on and the abhishekam is going on. The priests are chanting the mantras. The other priests have been assisting him in chanting the mantras in chorus. A very divine atmosphere. At that point, they listen to the sound of a vessel falling down. Chan karke, huge sound, not a small teeny-weeny sound, big sound. So then everybody gets a shock. What is this? What has fallen down? It was outside the main Garbhagriha. Now there, everybody goes and sees to their surprise, there is a huge golden bowl, vessel. It has fallen down. From where? From heaven, of course. So now everybody is stunned. They're looking at it. And it's the job of the main priest to come and take a call what to do, what's your next course of action. So the main priest comes in and see, he like, yes, I've been the main priest of this temple for the last 30 years and I have been doing abhishekam to the Lord on a daily basis. There's nobody greater than me over here, and I deserve to take this, because everybody points a finger at him. Sir, this has come from God. It's a gift for your devotion, I feel. Please, you only accept it. We don't see anybody else more eligible to get this. So he goes and with all the pride, he picks up the gold vessel. The moment he touches the golden vessel, it becomes iron. He's shocked. He leaves it. It's again gold. Now he understands, oh my God, this is a miraculous God-sent vessel, prasad, and he stands mum. Then the assistant priest tries, and then his assistants try, one after the other. Everybody is touching it, it's becoming iron, and they're leaving it, it's again gold. Then after the entire temple team was over in doing this exercise, then come the other people. Like the person who supplies flowers to the temple, he also feels, I have done so much seva, probably it is in my destiny. So he tries same thing. Then a person who has been guarding the temple, he tries the same thing. Likewise, now the public enter. Everybody is thinking, I am great, I have done something great in my life, and maybe let me give it a chance and try, and they go and touch iron, leave it gold. Now this news goes to the king of Kashi. Oh, such and such a thing has happened in my kingdom. I hear that morning 4 a.m. Brahmakal time, a golden vessel has fallen from the skies, and he says, I think God has really sent his blessings on me, I should go and receive it. So the king comes in a ceremonial way, and all decked. He picks up the vessel, iron. He drops it with a shock. Now, while all this is happening, like now everybody is laughing. They started laughing now. And after that, public is coming and testing. So the moment somebody touches and it turns into iron, everybody has a hearty laugh. So this is going on. Now there comes from one of the by lanes. You all have seen in Kashi, there are very small lanes. One poor person, a Brahmin, devoted, and he's come to have the darshan in the morning. So he comes, and while he's coming, he sees an old lady who is shivering. So what he does, he has an upper cloth, so he puts the upper cloth on her. He pats her, and he very lovingly talks to her, and then he comes forward. There is one person who is dying of hunger. So the fruits which he had brought to the temple to offer, he gives it to them. And he comes a little further. There is a small child crying. So he had brought some milk also to offer to Kashi Vishwanath. So he gives the milk to her. Likewise, he comes, then he offers his prayers in the temple and does his parikrama, and he's going out. Now he looks at this, there's something happening. He's not really interested in what's that. And as he's going, one of his friends call him. Hey Maharaj, aap bhi aao, idhar tamasha ho raha hai. You see there's so much fun happening here, come. And he says, what? No, aap le lo. Sone ka patra hai. This person is not interested. He says, what do I do with it? But he says, no, try. Everybody has tried. So all the friends, all the public tell him, go and try. And then he goes there and he picks up the vessel. And the moment he picks that vessel up, it shines even more brighter. Everybody is stunned. An ordinary person, in fact, he also comes every day to the temple. The priests know him. The watchman knows him. The vendors know him. The beggars know him. Even the dogs also know him. Because he's coming here for the last 40 years. Now when they go at depth and understand, what is that which he had in him? See, other priests and all, they were behaving so sacred, pure. No, stay away, don't touch me. And they were behaving high-handed. This person, he saw God in everybody. He saw divinity in every action. When he gave milk to the child, he felt that I am offering this milk to Kashi Vishwanath. He is sitting here in the form of this poor child. When he offered the fruits which he had bought to be offered to Kashi Vishwanath, he gave it to that person who is hungry. He said, "Oh Lord, you are in him. If you eat, it is like I have done Naivedya to you." And then when he gave his upper garment to a person who was shivering, with the same bhavana he did that. So every action, when you have devotion in it, that very thought, nothing beyond that. Now you have understood that the thought is more important than your physical aspects. Correct? Where your thought is. So when you are doing an action, you may be doing it physically to anybody. But the thought is, I have offered it to the Lord. It reaches. So then there was an awakening in everybody that it is not just by your show off and your rituals. You have to keep saying that I am this, I am that. No. Do even the smallest, the simplest act, but with dedication. That is what Lord wants over here. Okay. We go to the next verse. This is number 8. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajyayo hyakarmanaha sharira yatra pichate. न प्रसिद्धयेद कर्मणः. Now the Lord Shri Krishna, he introduces to another aspect. He says, one should perform every duty or every action as per the prescription of the Vedas or the Shastras or the Dharma Granthas. Basically, there what he's trying to say is what is right, what is wrong, what are the do's and what are the don'ts. Sometimes there is a mix-up, isn't it? The do's and don'ts get mixed up based on one's likes and dislikes. So he says every action has to be done as per the prescription of the Vedas. Now, action is superior to inaction, which we have already spoken. You just by keeping away from action, even your body maintenance will not be possible. Please understand that. So this is what he tries to communicate in this particular shloka. Every action you do, it purifies your mind and senses and disciplines it, where you have that absorption in the Lord. And if you say, I want to be inactive, I don't want to do anything, forget about doing as per the Vedas or not as per the Vedas, that's a secondary call, but I want to be inactive. He says, laziness is described as one of the greatest pitfalls on the spiritual path. Alasya hi manushyanam sharirasto mahan ripuhu. Mahan ripuhu means greatest enemy. Laziness is the greatest enemy of humans. And work is their most trustworthy friend. And is a guarantee against downfall. Nastyudhya masamo bandhur kritvayam nava siddhati. Work is the most trustworthy friend. So be active. Don't try to be lazy. Even like basic body activities, eating, bathing, and hygiene, it requires work. And there he explains what are the kinds of duties as per the scriptures. Now this is an overall perspective which one needs to understand. So now work is broadly classified into human life, work into two portions. One is the right work, which is noble, which is basically, which dignifies your own evolutionary status. And the second one is, which is ignoble, which is known as Nishiddha karma. The very word you all have understood, Nishiddha. It is an insult to your own evolution, or basically low base vicious activities. Now, under the noble category, there are two broad parameters, Nitya karma and Naimitya karma. Nitya karma covers your daily basic activity. Right from the time you get up, you need to maintain hygiene. So cleanliness at the level of the body. You need to do a bit of prayer, meditation, cleanliness at the level of the mind and at the level of the soul, and taking care of your family, your elders at home, your spouse, your children, the society, whoever is dependent upon you. All these, your duty as work, whatever you are doing. You may be a farmer, you may be a doctor, you may be a professional, or you may be working at home. Whatever you are doing, that is your duty. These are all the Nitya karma which you need to keep doing on a regular basis. And Naimitya karma is duties which have to be done on special occasions. Like as a father, you need to do the duty of Upanayanam for your children, let's say, at the appropriate age. That is one of your duty. If somebody has expired in your relatives or friends, then attending the Shraddha or the prayer meeting of such a family, that is your Naimitya karma. If all the more, if there is a death in your own family, doing all the rituals as per the prescribed method, that happens to be your duty. So these are, in all these ways, one needs to keep doing their duties. Nothing extraordinary, just simple duties. Like for a person right from the birth to the death, there are Shodashopachara samskaras, what we call 16 samskaras are there, or religious functions, rites which have to be done. So one has to do that. Like it is known as Garbhadan, Pumsavana, Shrimantam. Shrimantam is in the 5th month what they do for a pregnant lady. Then Jata Karma, Nishkramana, where they take the child first time out of the house to a temple. Namakaranam, cradle ceremony. Karna Vedha, meaning ear piercing. Annaprasanam, which is the first time you give food to the baby, where you give cereals and grains. Annaprasanam. Chaulam, meaning the first haircut for the baby. Vidyabhyasa, Aksharabhyasa, where you teach the child writing and letters. Then comes the Upanayana, where you teach the child Gayatri Mantra. Vidyarambha, start educating the child. Samavastana, meaning that is the graduation. Then Vivaha, wedding for the grown-up child. Nishekam, that is the honeymoon. Then after the honeymoon, straight it is Antyeshti, meaning the last rites. See how funny it is. There's a huge gap in the Shodashopochara karmas. So this is the autobiography of life and what is prescribed by the Vedas. So do all this and never be lazy. Whatever is told, take the help of the Pandits, whoever is there, and from time to time, whatever you need to do, do. Because now he's going to slowly graduate us to a higher level. This is just the beginning, where he said these are nitya karma, nishiddha karma, and then anaimitya karma. All this he tells, and then he goes to the next. He'll come to the pancha yagnas. That is very interesting again. How the cosmic wheel and a human life, they are connected. Now you may understand, what is this? The sun is rising, sun is setting, rains are coming, there is wind, oxygen in the air, the plants grow, food grains, fruits, vegetables. What have I got to do over there? The Lord says there is a direct relationship, and that will be explained in the subsequent verses. We'll take it up tomorrow.